guys, it's Melissa Viscount. Thank you so much for joining us for this free training for how to do everything mockups. We have lots of stuff to cover, and we have 4 fabulous instructors that are going to cover everything from how to make mockups in Silhouette to Cricut's Design Space, ScanNCut's Canvas Workspace, Photoshop, and even Canva. So depending on what software program you're used to, which software program you want to learn to use, which cutting machine you use, or maybe you don't even use a machine, this free training should be hopefully very helpful for you. Now we are going to be using the mix and match SVG and mockup bundle throughout this entire training. So all of the software programs, we will be using mockup designs and mockup images from this mockup bundle. If you want to purchase this mockup bundle so you can also create mockups and you'll also have the designs to go along with them, you will get a 20% off discount from the code that we are going to share. The code is going to be mockup training, and that will be good for 20% off this bundle on So Fontsy. So make sure you take advantage of that. I'm going to throw up a slide here that will show you how long it's going to take to get to the software part of the training that you may be interested in, and you can feel free to watch everything, or if you want, after this is done, you can fast forward to the part that you're most interested in. However, I would suggest that even if you have a Cricut or a ScanNCut, you might want to stick around for the information on how to use Silhouette Studio for mockups or Canva, because those are both free programs that you would also be able to use, and they're a little bit more robust than some of the other graphic design softwares that you may be using with your cutting machine. All right, so let's get started, and we will first cover why and when you may want to use mockups, the importance of them, and just give you some examples, and then we will get right into the software. So let's start by talking about what a mockup even is. What I want you to focus on in this screen here is these words right here. A mockup is a demonstration, design, evaluation, or promotion that is used for teaching. It's basically a prototype in digital form that you are going to be able to use in a lot of different ways. So when we are using mockups in crafting or small business, we have a lot of different benefits of why we might want to use mockups. So based on those words, those main couple points that we just talked about, demonstration, it is going to allow you to visually you look at your design before you actually cut your material or before you actually make any design decisions. So this allows you as the creator to visualize your design. It also helps you to bring a customer's ideas to life. In the design process, as I mentioned, it's going to help you make design and material decisions. So maybe once you see your mockup together, you think to yourself, you know what, this black outline or black offset really doesn't look that great with the other design decisions that I have made. And thirdly, a big benefit of mockups is that you can use them to promote your products, whether that is a digital product as an SVG or whether that is a digital version of a physical product that you want to use, and you can use it that way as a product photo. So who can benefit from using mockups? A lot of different people, a lot of different, not only crafters and creators and digital graphic designers, but also your customers. You can give your customers an idea of what their idea or what their concept is before you actually create it. Okay, so there are a lot of different benefits to using mockups in this space. Crafters who sell their handmade items, maybe you want to show what your design is going to look like on a blue shirt, a pink shirt, a white shirt, and a black shirt, but you don't need to make all of those different finished goods. A mockup is perfect for that. Digital designers, if you purchase if you are a person who creates digital designs, you can use mockups to show how that actual design could be used later. So for example, you could place it on a sign and show people you can use this for a sign. Likewise, you could show them that same design could be used on a tea towel. This is a way to allow you to show your customers how your digital designs can be used, and it really brings them to life. And of course, customers. As we mentioned, you can show your customers what their ideas look like beforehand. And a lot of people have trouble visualizing, and so mock-ups are super important for that. So let's just look at a quick side-by-side of how some of designs can look when they're not on mock-ups, if you are using these to sell a product, versus when they are on a mock-up. So you can see that putting your designs on a mock-up really brings them to life. These are all a lot of the same designs, a lot of the same style designs, but when they are simply made into digital mock-ups, they really show you, oh wow, I would love to be able to make a sign like that. If this farmhouse design here was just written out as farmhouse, someone might not know, oh, how could I make that, or what would it look like as a finished good? Okay, this also increases the value of the products that you are selling, whether that's a digital product or a physical product, because it gives the perception that there is a higher value to it. So it's really going to help you stand out. All right, so moving on, what makes a good mock-up and what makes a bad mock-up? There are a couple of different things, and all of these things can be addressed in whatever software program you are using. You want to make sure that your mock-ups look realistic. Part of that is making sure that you're using transparencies. You're focusing on the design or the product itself and not the actual mock-up image. Okay, so we'll talk about that, how you are going to address that. How it comes down to kind of cropping, and I'll show you that in the next slide. You also want to make sure that you're using colors that are, kind to the eyes and are, easy, appealing. You want styled photos that are visually appealing and relevant to the design itself. Little pops of color, which if you're purchasing professionally taken mock-up photos, which would be, and we sell lots of them on So Fontsy, including in this mix and match bundle, you're going to get that. So you don't have to worry about anything other than using that mock-up and then putting the design on top of it. And then of course you want to make sure that your mock-ups and your digital products are appropriate for each other. Okay, and on the other side we have basically the opposite of what we are showing. So you don't want to show harsh colors. If you're using a software program that displays the line color, such as Silhouette Studio, you want to make sure that you remove that. Same thing for the spell check line. Okay, and inappropriate designs or photos that distract from the actual design itself, because depending on how you're using designs, you are actually selling the product, not the image itself. All right, and so here's a couple of examples. Here's a good mock-up. Now you can see it uses the same photo. The reason that one is considered a good mock-up and one is not considered a good mock-up is because in this case, if we're selling the bag, we want the bag or the design, whatever it is, to be the focus of that photo. So professional photographers who create mock-up photos, and again, we have some wonderful vendors who sell their professional photos on So Fontsy. They take their photos very wide, and they do that to give you flexibility. But don't forget that you want to crop those photos so that people can see what you're using easily. You don't want people to have to squint. Okay, so just another thing to think about. Again, another good mock-up versus bad mock-up. This comes down to, is this realistic? It's easy to see. There's a slight transparency on here, which you can't tell, but it's not super stark. It looks more like what HTV would look like on top of a shirt, okay? And you don't have a Christmas design on this shirt. You have a 4th of July design because it is appropriate for the mock-up itself. These would be considered poor mock-ups. This here, you're using a digital design or a digital pattern that is very distracting, making it very difficult to see. You would want to put some kind of an offset behind that. And here we have an American Mama design on a clearly kids t-shirt with, you can tell that because it has, kids shoes right there. So that is what you would consider an inappropriate design. Beyond that, the line color of red, which is common in, Silhouette Studio and a couple of the other design programs where you are using cut lines, those cut lines are coming across as red. So you want to make sure that you remove that. And the number one mistake that you really want to try to avoid is to create a mock-up for something that is completely unrealistic. There is absolutely no way that unless you are sublimating, you are going to be able to put a very intricate, detailed design like this on a small surface like a wine tumbler. So you want to avoid mistakes like that are really, they're kind of deceptive, whether that's intentional or not. This is a beautiful mock-up, but unfortunately, if you give somebody the idea that they can make this small mandala, which is probably no larger than 3 inches, to fit on this design here, when they go to cut it on their cutting machine, or when you go to cut it because you're actually selling the physical tumbler, it's not going to be possible. So you want to be really, really careful about this. Now, the benefit of purchasing mock-ups for your craft mock-ups, no matter where you are in that cycle, whether you're the customer, whether you're the handmade creator, or whether you're using this for your customers, purchasing professional mock-ups is something that may be worth it to you for a lot of different reasons. One, it saves you time and money. There's a lot that goes into creating mock-ups. You need to have all of these different types of props. You need a good camera, lighting equipment, editing equipment, okay? So when you purchase a mock-up from So Fontsy, whether that's in a bundle or whether you're purchasing individual mock-up photos, you are getting professionally styled, professionally edited, and high-resolution photos. And that's a really great place to start when you are creating mock-ups for wherever you are in this crafting kind of industry. So let's get started. We're going to start first with how to create mock-ups in Silhouette Studio, and then we will move into the other design softwares for Cricut, ScanNCut, Photoshop, and Canva. 3, 2, 1. All right, so here we are in Silhouette Studio. So we need to import 2 things to create our mock-up in Silhouette Studio. So first thing that we need to import is our design itself. And the second thing we need to import is the actual mock-up. So I have already downloaded the mock-ups and the designs. These are both, of course, from the So Fontsy Mix and Match bundle. So they come in zip files. They will be downloaded as zip files, and we have a couple here, so let's see. Now, here is the mock-up itself. When I have this open, this is just in my Finder window, I'm going to simply drag and drop this into Silhouette Studio. Now, it comes in extremely large, and that's because it's a high-resolution photo. So when we select it, we can see it's 41 inches wide by 28 inches almost high. So we can size that by just simply using the corner grid and sizing that. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to bring in the design itself, okay? So all you have to do is the exact same thing. You're going to have unzipped it, and you can open that file, and then you can use any of the file types that you want. So for a mock-up, you can use the JPEG, the PNG, or the SVG. It's really up to you, but we are going to drag and drop that also into Silhouette Studio. Now, in this case, this looks like this design. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit so you can see here. This design is all set up. It works really well with this mock-up because they are both a landscape or horizontally oriented design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this entire design and I'm going to group it. You might not need to do this for every single design, but to keep everything together. And then I'm simply going to pull it into position. So you can see it is now on top of the mock-up itself, and I'm going to now size this so that it appropriately fits on my mock-up. Now I'm going to zoom in again so you can see a little bit better. And what I can see is that it's not quite centered. So let's just center the design itself. You can move either the mock-up or the design, it doesn't really matter. But what you're going to do is just make sure that it's in position. Now, if you have a design that is a little bit more bold than this one is not such a big deal, but I always would recommend that you pull the transparency down a little bit. not of the image itself, but just of the SVG or JPEG, whichever one you brought in. So you're going to do that by opening the fill color panel over here on the right hand side, and only with the design selected. You don't want the mock-up image selected itself. Just pull the transparency down to about 10 or 11. Okay, so that's typically pretty good. Oops, not 100. And what that's going to do is just make it look a little bit more realistic. Okay. Now, what we have, if we go back out a little bit, so let's say we are selling this sign itself, the physical product of this sign. We want people to focus on that. And while it looks really nice, all, with our whole staged photo here, professionally staged photo, we really want the emphasis to be on this sign itself. So I'm going to crop this a little bit. You don't want to crop the actual sign, but you want to crop the actual image. So in Silhouette Studio, you can just double click and you'll get the edit points. Now for a rectangular photo, like a mock-up would be, you're only going to have 4 edit points. You can select 2 of them at the same time. So I just click that top one, hold down Shift and click the bottom one, and now I can hold Shift and use my arrow keys and pull my photo in slightly. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just removing some of that kind of excess space. I want to make sure that I do that though on all sides. So in this case, we're going to do it again along the top. I'm going to now use the down arrow key. Okay, I want to leave some of the beautiful photo that is here, but I don't need so much of it because I really want the eye to focus on this sign itself. All right, and don't be afraid to go back and if you did too much or too little, you can adjust. So if you bring this down like this and you think, you know what, I actually did too much, you're able to actually tab back up and expose more of the photo. All right, so I'm going to leave it like this. I might even crop it in a little bit more on the right hand side, but it's really a judgment call on for however you want to do it. So now you're selling this design, this sign itself. You need to get this photo out of Silhouette Studio and put it on your website or on your Facebook page or on your Instagram page so that you can tell people, hey, I have this sign available. My number one rule before you do that is to make sure that you actually know how to make this sign. It's wonderful if you know how to make mock-ups. You need to make sure you know how to make the actual product too. So assuming that you know how to do all of that. Now, there's 2 ways that you can export this. If you're just using the free version of Silhouette Studio, you're going to need to take a screen grab. So if you're making regular and routinely making mockups in Silhouette Studio, I would not recommend this version. But for a one-off, it will work. So you're just going to do a screen grab. However you take screen grabs on your Mac or PC, I'm on a Mac, and I can take a screen grab by clicking Command Shift and 4 and then cropping that out. So that leaves me with a mock-up photo on my desktop. Okay, it's a beautiful photo that now I can upload to Facebook or wherever I want to put that to show people, hey, here's this sign. You can purchase this sign from me for $25 or whatever your price may be. If you have business edition of Silhouette Studio, which as you know is a one-time purchase, you are able to export this in a higher resolution than what a screen grab would give you. So you're going to take your mouse and you're going to select everything, the photo and the design itself, so that everything is selected. And then from Silhouette Studio, you're going to go up and you're going to do File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, and you're going to save this as a JPEG or a PNG. Okay, so these options, JPEG and PNG, are only available if you have business edition or higher. Okay, so then we can call this menu board. It's going to ask us, what DPI do you want? That is the dots per inch, and the higher the number, the better the resolution. So I would recommend you change that to 300 and just click save, and that design has now been saved also to your desktop, okay, or your downloads, wherever you told it you wanted it to save. So ours is right here. Nope, that's not it. It's this one. menu board. Okay, so there it is. You can see this opened up much larger than the screen grab that we took because we saved it at a higher resolution and we were able to tell it just save this as a JPEG. Okay, so that is very quickly how you make mock-ups in Silhouette Studio. Okay, so let's say you want to tell people, you know, you have two options for boards, wooden signs that you are offering. Not only do you offer weekly menu, but you also offer another option for a schedule. So you can pull that design in and repeat the exact same process. Again, in this case, because these designs are all ungrouped, we want to start by grouping them to allow us to much more easily manipulate them. All right, and then you are just going to repeat the same process that we just did, where you are resizing your design and exporting it. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see. And in this case, you could tell people, you know, I also offer as an alternative weekly schedules. So whether you are selling the digital design of weekly schedules, which you're not because you purchased this digital design from So Fontsy, but if you are a sign maker, you have this option. Now let's say you don't want to offer this weekly schedule with black vinyl. Let's say you want to offer it with blue. You can select the design itself. And again, from the fill color panel, you can come over here and you can change the color. So now, let's say you're going to offer it with blue vinyl or whatever the case may be, gray. You know, you can change that color, and this is going to allow you to, again, save the design. So File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, Weekly Schedule Gray. Change this to JPEG and 300 DPI. Okay, and now you can give that option, but you want to tell people that you also have it in black. So you simply change the color, save it again, and this way now you have quickly, very, very quickly created two mock-ups with the exact same design and the exact same mock-up. And you have done it extremely fast and efficient and with a beautiful photo, all in Silhouette Studio, and you're able to export. And so you saw just how very quickly we were able to make all three of those photos. So we've got the weekly schedule in black, we have the weekly schedule in gray, and you could ask, you know, your social media followers, which do you prefer? Do you want gray or black? Hey, guess what? I can take custom options. Here are your other choices as well. Okay, so make sure that you're taking advantage of Silhouette Studio, whether you have a Silhouette machine or not. Silhouette Studio can be used with all different cutting machines. And even if you don't have a cutting machine, if you want to use it for graphic design, it is a free software to use, and you'll be able to use it for mock-ups completely free if you are going to do the screen grab method. It is a one-time fee of about $65. You can get that from Swing Design, the business edition upgrade, if you want to be able to export as all of those other file types. All right, so that's about it from me and how to make mock-ups in Silhouette Studio. I'm going to toss it over now to Lisa, who is going to show you how to make mock-ups in Cricut Design Space.
Hey guys, this is Lisa at So Fontsy, and today I'm going to show you how to create a mock-up using Cricut Design Space. The thing you want to do is upload your mock-up image. So go to Upload and then click Upload Image, click Browse, and I'm going to use this black patriotic t-shirt mock-up from the Mix and Match SVG and mock-up bundle. So let's click Open on that. And then you're going to choose complex. Click continue. This will bring up the image so you can just check it out, but I'm going to leave it as is. So click continue again. And now you're going to choose the print then cut version. So let's click upload on that. And it'll just take a moment or two for it to upload into Cricut Design Space. Now, if you're using a mock-up, let me just select this first and then click Insert Images. Okay, what I was saying is if you're going to use a mock-up that is super large, which most of them in this bundle are, I resize this image first inside of Photoshop because, I mean, you could use anywhere where you resize images, but this mock-up is very large and would take about 5 to 8 minutes for it to upload into Design Space at the full size. So I just quickly resized it and then uploaded it here so it would go quickly. All right, so now what we need is the SVG design. So go to upload and click upload image, and then let's browse for our SVG. I'm using this America Rainbow SVG design. Again, both of these can be found in the mix and match SVG and mockup bundle. Let's click that, and we're going to upload that into Design Space. We'll select it and click Insert Images, and now it'll place that right here on my screen. So I'm going to just, quickly resize this so it fits on this t-shirt a little bit better, and then just kind of play with it a little bit, maybe zoom in so you can see what it looks like there. Okay, so I really like how this looks, but if I wanted to change the color, so say I wanted to make this blue, I wanted to show the customer in a lighter blue color, I could change that. I could change this part of it to something that's a little bit lighter, like a pink, and then, all right, so I'm good to go. And what I want to also do is just put a quick watermark or logo on it to send it over to my customer. So I uploaded the So Fontsy logo, so I'm going to insert that design, and that is very large. So let's make that like 1 inch. There we go. And let's just place that down here. Let's place this over here, my image. All right, so now I have this image here in Cricut Design Space, but no way to export it as a JPEG or a PNG file to share. So what you're going to want to do is print the screen. If you're using a PC, you're going to take a screenshot. So if you're using a PC, you'll press the Windows key and print screen, and that'll automatically save the screenshot to your computer wherever you save those. But I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to hold down Command, Shift, and 4, and that's going to bring up this little cursor here with the crosshairs. And then I'm going to take this and drag it across my image to get a nice looking closer mock-up, and then just let go, and it's going to save it automatically to my screenshot folder. So I'm all set now. Now I just have to navigate there and send it over to my customer. So it's very simple. If you have any questions, please let us know, but we hope this was helpful, and thanks for hanging out with us today.
Hey friends, this is Lindsay. I'm going to be showing you how you can create your own mock-ups in Brother Canvas Workspace, which is the design software that you use in conjunction with your ScanNCut machine. Now you do need to work in the PC software version of Canvas Workspace, the version that you download for free onto your computer, not the web-based application version that you access online. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and download Canvas Workspace onto your computer and then open up the program to a new workspace. Now the first thing that you'll want to do is import the actual JPEG file of the photograph of the mock-up. So you click this SVG icon here in the left menu, and then locate the photograph file that you've previously saved on your computer. So here's this beautiful vertical porch sign photograph, and go ahead and resize it as big as you can, but to still fit within these red cut outlines. And now you'll need your SVG to overlay on top of this mockup. So go back to that SVG icon in the left menu and locate the design file on your computer. I'm going to be using this Welcome to Your Home Heart Wreath SVG, and open it into your workspace. And of course, I'm going to need to make some edits to it. So from here on out, now I don't need to make any more edits to the actual photograph itself. So to make it easier on myself, I'm going to lock it so I don't accidentally click on it and move it around. So go into the layers panel and scroll down to the image here at the bottom and click this empty box, and the lock icon will appear. And that just means that as long as this lock icon is engaged, then I can't click on or make any edits to the image because it's locked, which is totally fine because now I just want to select all the parts of the SVG, and I can really easily do that by just clicking and dragging my mouse over the SVG. It'll select everything in the SVG, but not the design itself. And now I can go ahead and group the SVG together. And so then I can go ahead and move it and resize it as one unit to fit within the vertical porch sign in this photograph. So now essentially you have created a mock-up just as you see it here. Now, if you do want to customize the SVG even further, like I want to make some edits to different colors of the SVG, then you can absolutely go ahead and customize it to make it look how you want it to look. So for example, I want to change the colors of the leaves. So I'm going to go back into the layers panel here, and you can see all the different separate elements of this SVG. And so I want to select only the leaves. So I am going to hold Control on my keyboard. I'm using a PC, so I hold Control on my keyboard. And while I'm holding it down, I'll go ahead and click on each of the leaves until they're all selected. And you can tell that they are selected because they'll be highlighted in this light blue color. Then I'll go up to the paint bucket icon to change the fill color, located in the top menu here, and let's select green, and then all the leaves will change green. And then it makes sense to me to keep all these leaves grouped together as one design element. So back in the layers panel, over one of the selected leaves, I'm just going to right click the mouse and click group from the drop down menu. Now all the leaves are grouped together, and you could even rename the group in the layers panel if you wanted to find it more easily later. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these little dots, these little berries. I'm going to select them all again by holding Control on my keyboard while I click on each of them in the layers panel. And once they're all selected, go up to the paint icon, change their color to red. Then it also makes sense to me to group these together, so I'm going to do that as well. And you can rename the group if you want to. I could also change the colors of the words or make other customizations if I wanted to, but I like how it looks right now. And so when you're done making edits to your mock-up, then of course you'll want to save this and export it from Canvas Workspace, and there's a little workaround to do that. You're going to need to use your computer's screenshot or screen capturing tool. I'm using a PC, so I'll show you what it looks like on my computer, and yours is probably very similar, though it may look a little bit different. So then just take your screen capture or your screen snip and save that onto your computer, and you then have a completed mock-up saved onto your computer, ready to use for whatever you need to use it with. And that, my friends, is just how easy it is to create a mock-up using Canvas Workspace.
My name is Keisha. I'm the customer service and admin here at So Fontsy, and today I'm going to walk you through creating a mock-up in Canva. So the thing that I love about making mock-ups in Canva is how quick it can be. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to hit Create a Design. You have two options. We're going to go down to this gray box. You could either do custom size if you know you have dimensions that you absolutely need for the use of your mockup. Go ahead, custom size. Today, I'm going to hit Edit Photo. I'm going to select my mockup, and then I know that when this uploads, I'm going to get the native dimensions of this photo. Once it's uploaded, it gives me the option to use in a design again or edit photo, which will take me to this workspace. Once we're here in the workspace, I really want to take a moment to notice what we're going to be using this mock-up photo for. We're going to be inserting an SVG on the shirt. So I know that I want that to be really front and center, and I want the design to be able to be bigger than just this little square right here. To do that, we're going to double click, and that gives us handles on each side of this photo. Now I'm going to drag the photo so that I can make the shirt workspace quite a bit larger. That way when we put the SVG in, it's really going to be the thing that catches your eye. Perfect. Now I noticed that the alignment's a little off, so let's go ahead and shimmy this over to the right. Again, just double click. You can move this design all around within your design box. Perfect. So now I have the SVG up here on my desktop waiting. I'm going to hit click uploads, drag my SVG into my uploads, and then one click will place it into my workspace. Now I'm going to tilt my design, so this circle with the arrows is your rotation. I'm going to make it line up here with the armpits, and then I'm going to shrink it down because we know if we were cutting this design out of HTV, we certainly would not be making it that big. The other thing I like to do for alignment, so we're down here below the armpits, and this circle is in the dead center of your SVG, so I'm going to try and align it quite a little bit with the middle of that collar. Perfect. Now, if you wanted to be done here, you absolutely could, but taking your mock-ups to the next level is what's going to help sell. So we see that when we click on the SVG here, we get a color selector up here. I'm going to go ahead and click this pink, and then I've downloaded a handy tool from Silhouette School blog. Melissa has created a Caesar EasyWeed color equivalence chart. So you can see I have bubblegum and dark maroon highlighted here. So those are the colors that we're going to start out with. I'm going to copy the bubblegum hex code, and I'm going to paste it here in this search bar. So from your search, this shows me exactly what color that bubblegum Caesar EasyWeed is going to be. Now we click on the white one. I'm going to select the hex code for dark maroon, and here we go. Now wait a second. When we see this on our black shirt, the dark maroon does not stand out enough. So that's one reason, even if you aren't selling designs, if you're selling the physical items, you want to be able to see that that maroon does not look great on a black shirt. So let's go ahead and choose another color I had found that's going to be the pale blue Caesar EasyWeed. I'm going to paste that here into my search bar, and that looks much better. Now it's much more bold and the color contrast is nice. I didn't notice, but I matched the color of the water bottle. That was totally unintentional. So that is how you make a mock-up in Canva. You would just go ahead and download your item here, so you can see the PNG is downloading. You do have the option, Canva is free for this use. There are a couple of things that are really nice. So again, with our color picker, we could go back, and if you see this says add your brand colors in brand kit. This allows you to put colors into a quick access palette. So I'm going to copy and paste those colors again from that download. Perfect. And we are going to title this Caesar Easy Weed. And you can go through and put all of the colors that you have on hand here in this palette. If you would like to try Canva Pro, which is their paid version, you can add multiple different palettes so that you have one for each kind of vinyl, or you have one for your company's logo. So we're going to go back here. I'm going to refresh real quick and click on our colors. You can see that now it has Caesar Easy Weed, and if I had other colors I could go through and pick what colors of HTV I would like to do on this mock-up. Alright, that is it from me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Hi guys, this is Lisa from So Fontsy, and today I'm going to show you how to create a mock-up using Adobe Photoshop. The first thing you want to do is open up your design. I'm using this farmhouse style white wood round, and I'm also using this laundry never ends design. You want to open up the PNG file so that the design has a transparent background. With the selection tool selected, I'm going to put the cursor right on the design and drag it up to the mockup image tab. Then I'm going to bring the cursor right to the center of the mockup and let go of the image. So as you can see, it just placed it right in the center. Now, holding the Option key down, I'm on a Mac. I'm going to drag the corner in and it's going to resize the image. And then I'll use my mouse to drag the image a little bit more in order to get it perfect. Let's see, I'm using the arrow keys. That seems to put it more centered into this design. Then you want to hit this check mark up here to confirm. And now the design is placed on the mockup. Now the next step I generally do with my mockups is add a logo. So I have in the So Fontsy library in Photoshop, I have my logo already set up in here. So I'm going to grab it, drag it, and drop it onto the design. Again, holding the Option key, you'll just drag in the corner to resize the image, and then let's place it down here at the bottom. Okay, click enter to accept that transformation. And now the next thing I do is crop the image. So using the crop tool, you can either hit C or click on the crop tool. I'm going to drag a crop right across the screen here and then center my design so that it's pretty much, there we go, that looks good. And let's see, I'm going to just lift this up just a little bit and click enter to accept those changes, and there you go, there's the mock-up. Now the next thing you want to do is save this. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to call this Laundry Never Ends, oops, Never Ends White Wood Round Mock-up. That way I know exactly what the mock-up image is, and it's good for SEO as well. And then change the format to a JPEG and hit save. Now 3.8 megabytes is really high, so we don't need images that large in most marketplaces, but I like to adjust mine to like 8 or 9, so it's just a little bit under 1 megabyte. Click OK, and there you go. Very easy, very fast, and if you use the Photoshop libraries, you can really set things up so you can go quickly. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, guys, it's Melissa again, and that concludes our free training of Mockups 101. We hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from this training. And again, if you are interested in that mix and match mockup bundle, don't forget to grab it. Make sure you use the 20% off coupon. And this is, again, a limited time, not only bundle, but a limited time coupon for you. So take advantage of that. And we are so glad that you've joined us today for this training. Enjoy the rest of your day.